Tonight, 300,000 people in West Virginia are being told to stay away from their tap water, not to use it for anything, cooking, bathing, washing, anything at all. A chemical spill in the Elk River may have contaminated the drinking water. A federal investigation has been launched into how this happened.
The leak happened just about a mile north of the state's largest water treatment plant. The material, a foaming agent used to clean coal, began leaking from a 48,000-gallon storage tank at Freedom Industries, a chemical manufacturer.
We were aware of the leaking storage tank around 10:30. We load tank trucks of this material on a regular basis, and occasionally we've had reports of an odor previously, so we were first aware of any material being spilled at 10:30 yesterday.
Price and other environmentalists say pollution from coal mining has contaminated many local water sources, forcing rural communities to rely on water piped in from Charleston, the state capital.
I got a buggy full of ice up here, so it'll turn into water, but I mean, you can't live without water.
For safety, we would just ask that everyone please.
One thing I do remember about it is that I was over at the state capitol earlier that day.
I was on the set, I was anchoring, as I said, and so I immediately sent a note to our assignment editor and said, check into this, let's see what this is.
We're close to coal, which is the predominant fuel source for those, but also they're lined along the rivers. The rivers are essential.
We'd had another freelance reporter was coming into work for us to cover the legislative session. Of course, the state of the state from Governor Tomlin was just, I believe it was the day before, actually. So I was over at the Capitol, and I remember coming back and smelling something in the air, but not really thinking anything of it.
And finished anchoring the rest of that segment of the newscast. During the commercial break, came out, checked in, we'd gotten a little more information. We'd confirmed that, yes, this came from the governor's office.
I think that, at that point, no one had any clue. Surprising enough, the instinct didn't kick in for everyone in that area immediately, but I remember coming back to the station, and a few hours later we found out, and then West Virginia American Water, and the governor's office issued the do not use notice, or the ban on using using the water for anything except to flush the toilet or to put out fires.
Water is a prevalent feature in the state of West Virginia.
Which is different than a boil water advisory, which is, I think, what a lot of people maybe wondered at first. Is this just a boil water advisory? We get those all the time. And it quickly became clear this was not a boil water advisory. This was something much more serious.
Pretty hard to live long in West Virginia and not appreciate how much it rains.
So as soon as we got through the next segment, I was with Spencer Adkins, our chief meteorologist, on the air, and he had wrapped up his forecast, and I said, Spencer, we need to let people know we've just received this information from the governor's office. It's a do not use the water order for a number of counties in our viewing area. We're still working to get some more information to find out exactly what this means for you. Stay with us. We'll be giving you more information as we get it.
So, those first few hours, it was the afternoon whenever the story was breaking from other outlets. And my colleague and I, Ashton, we sort of picked up and tried to gather as much information as we could at that point. So
the Gauley River or the Cranberry River. Then when we couple that with some of the major river systems like the Monongahela River and the Kanawha River, places where historic conduits of coal and steel and major economic drivers in terms of industry development along the canal. So rivers are a huge, huge component of the West Virginia landscape. Most people don't think about the importance of rivers and the water in rivers for power production. We typically think, the first thing people think about is hydropower, so a dam and the Hoover Dam producing electricity. But there's a reason, there's more than one reason at least, why there are so many electrical power producing facilities in West Virginia.
I don't think anyone had any clue what was going on. We just knew that there was a leak at Freedom and that residents weren't supposed to use water at all. Of course, having reported this and living in Charleston, we were just as affected as anyone else. So the first 3 days after the spill, people were coming to work unshowered, basically cleaning up as best you could with like baby wipes or some sort of like, you know, whatever towels you had laying around that you could clean yourself with. I mean, bottled water, bar of soap, and a washcloth was about the best you could do.